Suffering from a stiff neck and tense neck? All you need to do to get rid of it is to grab your plague fork and watch this video. Stay tuned. This video is filled with crucial information for you as always, so you should definitely stay tuned until the conclusion. Who doesn't know the feeling of waking up in the morning with a stiff neck, barely being able to move it and feeling completely fixated? Perhaps it even radiates into the arm with a tingling sensation. Annoying story. I acknowledge stiff neck is incredibly rare for me, but I also know the feeling. Every now and then I also have a stiff neck, but no problem. With the trick in this video, you can easily escape the situation yourself. Before we begin the exercise, let's start with some anatomy. To free yourself from your misery, you need to know a few structures. The first is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which you notice when you turn your head, which protrudes forward here. And this muscle is frequently and consistently shortened in this area due to our frequent head-forward posture. That means it is a very strong handbrake that pulls down the structures here, and then when that happens, you see the neck here goes into a shortening, and here often a spasm, a cramp in the muscles occurs, and that is what you notice as a stiff neck. This is the sternocleidomastoid, the muscle that goes up here, so a pretty strong, large muscle. Examining the underlying structures, the carotid artery and vital vessels can be seen beneath this muscle when it is cut through, revealing their location. At the same time, down here you can see the brachial plexus, which is another very important structure that is often put under pressure by this musculature and the scalene muscles behind it, and then causes radiating problems. If you know what you have to do, it's not a problem to dissolve these structures. All you need is a fork and possibly a little body lotion, oil. I'd suggest body lotion to you because oil can be slippery. Also some lotion, not much, a little drop. When selecting your fork, ensure that your fork in this region, as we will be working with this area here, is not excessively sharp, but rather somewhat dull. If you're a risk taker, you can use a knife. A bread knife is often very round in the handle area. Of course, then you have to touch the blade at the bottom. Even if it's a dull bread knife, that works. For safety, I prefer a fork. The manner in which we collaborate is as follows. We grasp the fork and do not position it horizontally, not at a right angle, but rather slightly tilted if visible, and subsequently maneuver the fork in this direction. Not precisely like that, but slightly inclined so that you can apply pressure with the inclined edge of the object. Let's imagine I have a problem on the right side. Of course, I should perform this exercise on the right and left to free my entire system, but it is natural to start with the side that bothers you the most with the exercise. Since we will be working with lotion shortly and the entire situation could become somewhat slippery, we will begin with our pin technique initially. Our procedure entails taking the fork handle, identifying the origin of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and firmly securing this structure by pinning it down, ensuring a strong and stable hold during the process. And at this moment, what I'm currently doing is, I carefully and skillfully pull out the muscle that is located under this pin, employing precise and deliberate movements to ensure accuracy and minimize any potential damage or discomfort. Approximately, move at a slow pace, repeating this action 5 times, gradually and deliberately, without rushing or hurrying. The more you rotate your head, the more it stands out and the more you can work on it. Ensure that you always relax the structure first and then pull it out properly to effectively address any issues. While relaxing is not entirely accurate, because when you bring this musculature down, you contract the muscle, but you enter a neutral position and then gradually transition into a stretching phase. All right, 5 times on each side. Following that, our attention will be directed towards the structures on the page that cause you the most pain. We will take the rights at this moment. Firstly, I take a small amount of body lotion, a small amount of fluid, and spread it on this side here in this specific area, just to have a bit of fun. Now I take my fork and, importantly, we are working here again, as I just explained, in this way, not like this, not completely flat. Place the fork down on the table gently, making sure it's stable and ready for use. At the neckline, press in, take the head and slowly move it to the side while I slowly stroke with the fork, ensuring a gentle and controlled motion. Up until approximately this point below. The entirety of the thing once again, roughly about a total of 3 times in total. If you've done this thrice, we'll move on to a pro version. It looks like this. I'm using the technique, but now I'm pressing my head on my hand. That means I activate the muscles. So you should remember here that the muscles are kind of helping you out a bit. Then consciously release the muscles to a small extent. Pull your head against it once again. Hold on to the fork and let go a little bit, just slightly loosening your grip. Oppose it once more with your head and let go once more. Also on 3 occasions, we're doing it again now. At this spot, the head pulls against the hand in this direction, moving towards that area. Here, I come to a stop and take a short break. Return with your head, release a bit. Strike your head against it, release a bit. And go against it once again and completely let go. And do it one last time for the final time. Pull your head against it, release, make contact with your head, allow it to function. Release, position your head against it, release. Strike your head against it and release. The next technique looks like this. I now turn my head to the side and move my chin down, as if I wanted to go into my armpit with my chin. That means the movement is such a movement. Now we do the same as before. First with the brushing. That is to say, I position myself, hold my head in place, move my fork back to this point, and slowly pull down in order to ensure accuracy and precision in my actions, thereby achieving the desired outcome with meticulousness and care. The numbers 2 and 3 can be represented by the numerical values 2 and 3 respectively. Repeat with special technique, meaning here too I go against it with my head, down, hold, descend. That means my head moves against my hand at this point, holds against here, the muscles tense up, I let go a little. Oppose once more, let go once more, oppose it once more, and then release once more, go against it again and then back again. Oppose it and perform the action once more. Additionally, utilize the technique on 3 separate occasions. If you just want to stroke the page, you can of course do this stroking several times in this position without this counterwork position. You can do it up to 10 times. Start stroking with a soft pressure. So don't go in too hard yet, but rather lightly, so you can already feel some resistance here. Feel how the tissue, how the fascia is being pulled out under your fork. And then you work deeper and deeper and deeper with each brush stroke and go deeper into the structures. Then you'll notice after a short time your mind is freer. So I wish you've gotten rid of your neck problems. If you have a question, write it in the comments and I'll gladly answer. Under certain circumstances, even with your own video, it's important to click the bell for notifications. It would be a shame if I made a video for you and you didn't notice. Otherwise, as I mentioned, share the video with friends. Many individuals have neck problems and you can easily eliminate them with this simple tool, a fork, and help me assist others by sharing the video. Otherwise, I'd be glad if you keep exploring this channel. And if you want to remove the causes of such issues, then check the free online webinar on Methuselah code below. It helps you to bring your body into a perfect starting position so that these neck and tension situations do not even arise in the first place. Because you have surely remembered at the beginning, I have such situations very, very rarely, and that is partly due to the Methuselah code. Excited to see you in one of the upcoming videos. See you then, Dirk. Hi. If you lack a fork, watch this video up there, as there's also a technique without a fork.